So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very busy program, but I am happy to have our next guest, who is a candidate for Hanford City Council District D. I'd like to welcome Paula Massey. Hello, Paula.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great to have you here on the air. You and I were discussing off the air how, I've had some other candidates here on the show, and I wanted to use this show, the Eggs, Bacon, and Joey Morning Show, as a platform for the big election happening tomorrow.
Yes.
And Paula, really quick, I want to just kind of get your insight and your thoughts as to this recall election. I mean, a recall election and almost like a big-time politics happening in such a small town. What's going on here?
Well, it is like a big town thing happening in a small town, and the recall election is just maybe this city council person in District D. The citizens found that he wasn't doing exactly what they desired for him to do, and there was a petition that had to be signed, and they signed that petition even to get the recall done. So he's fighting that he could stay in, and that's a good thing as long as you're doing what you're doing for the community. You stay there. But if you don't, I just found an opportunity for me to step in as already a community activist and a community worker anyway. So why not step up to the plate and, be a part of what's going on?
And you've been very involved. Tell me just a little bit about, there's so many organizations, so many things that you've done over the years. Just tell me a little bit about what you're currently doing right now.
Well, right now I'm currently still with Women with Visions Unlimited. We started that in 2007 as an entrepreneur resource network for women. And now at this point, we're doing things for the children in the community. We're doing testing for diagnostic testing as far as math and reading. So we're always going to do the education with the children, and we did the youth conferences. So right now, I'm really involved in that Kings County Black History Committee program. We have a Black History program every year, and we just reformed our committee last year. So I'm really involved in that, and I was the past president of the local branch of the NAACP, so I'm really still involved in that as a member. So my hands are full. I'm doing a lot, and once one thing falls off my plate, it's like Tetris. Something falls right back in. But I'm happy about it. I just did Toys for Tots at a local apartment complex, and it was just really great. So right now, I've just been hitting the streets, knocking on doors. I don't have money for big signs or stamps to mail out stuff, so I hit the ground running and have people walking with me in the communities and handing out my flyers, letting them know that the election is coming up tomorrow and vote for me.
What's one of your main motivations behind joining this election?
Well, one of my main motivations is the community itself. It is the community. So many times we have, I talk to different people, and it's like, my vote don't count. I'm not a registered voter. Why vote? Why register? I don't want to be on the jury duty. And every time I register to vote, they call me for jury duty. But one of my motivations to be in this election is to educate the community, really educate them as far as what voting does, what registering to vote does, and how important their vote really is. And also, one of my motivations is to give the community a voice. There are a lot of people in our community that have great ideas, that want to see things going on in this community, but they feel like they don't have a voice. What's the use of saying anything? Nothing's going to happen anyway. But in my opinion, if I get in, I am their voice. And I have to listen to them. I have to hold community meetings to find out what it is that you want. I always just use this analogy is that if I give you what you need, you might not want that. But if I give you what you want and include what you need, you're more likely to take that. It's just sort of like, I think that you need carrots, but you want cake. So what I do is I make a carrot cake and put a lot of carrots in it, okay? So
no,
yeah.
I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
So, looking at this election, do you think that residents in District D are frustrated currently at this moment?
I think they really are very frustrated. When I talk to young people, people that are under my age. I just turned 60, so we're looking at 45 to 50. Those ages, they're very frustrated. The African American community is very, very frustrated, and the Latino community is very, very frustrated. You have a lot of older people that are in their 70s that are retired. They're more complacent. They kind of got where they are. They're happy with where they are right now. They're not looking for a whole lot of things. They're looking for some, but not a whole lot. And if they're looking for anything, it's for their children and their grandchildren. So I do see a lot of frustration in our community.
Yeah, and I can see why this recall election is important to you, and why you decided to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get involved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna campaign and be a part of this event, because I know I can make a change, and I can feel that from you right now. I can feel the motivation to be a part of this election. So let's just say you do get elected. What are some of the things that you'd like to change immediately?
One of the things that I like to change, and I don't even know whether it's changing, but adding. I'll put adding. I would love to add to the community, because District D is spread out in a lot of areas. And I would love to see in each area having a community forum, having a place where I can have a community forum, whether it's at a church or whether it's at the Longfield Center, bringing that community together and just actually having a forum. What is it that, let the people talk, let them tell me what's going on. I throw some things out there to let them know what's happening in the community, and they let me know their feedback. Also, we have a lot of nonprofit organizations that are on the South Side. We have these motorcycle clubs, the Traffic Queens, the Traffic Kings, the Divas, and they're all doing things in the community. They're doing the backpack drive. They're doing Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving. They're doing Breakfast with Santa. They're doing a lot of the stuff in conjunction with the city of Hanford. But they're nonprofits, and they need to know what's available to them. A lot of times there's finances that are available to them, like the Community Development Block Grant, but they don't know about that. So to me, that would be my biggest responsibility, is get this information out to those in the community so they could better serve the community. One organization and one person can't do it alone. It does take a village, and it takes a lot of people coming together. And if you got the funding to do what you need to do, and I got the funding that I need to do, then we could come together and work together.
We talked about the frustration of the residents of District D. As a citizen of this great community of the city of Hanford, does it frustrate you when you see all this kind of media storm of accusations and all these things going on social media? Does that frustrate you?
It really does, because I don't feel like negativity has any part in this. I think that if you've done your job and you've done what you're supposed to do, and we get a big handbook that tells us what the city council representative is allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, and what our role is in the city. And if we follow that book, and if we follow what our heart is for our community, there's no reason to be negative, none at all. And where the negativity is coming from, I really don't know. But I choose not to join in that. I choose to always have a positive attitude. And when people bring things up to me about, well, what this person did, I'm like, I'm not even there. I just flip the script and change it to something positive. Always trying to help the people to realize that it's important. Are you a registered voter? Let's vote, and tell them why they should vote. So many times we go out there and say, oh, you should vote, you should vote. Are you a registered voter? But we need to tell the people, educate them on why it is important that they vote. It is very important. Voting is very important.
Now, the election tomorrow, where can you actually go and vote?
Well, there's a Latino Assembly of God Church on Harris Street.
Okay.
And then the Catholic Church on Hanford and Motor Road, like going toward 10th Avenue, that big Catholic church over there. Those are the two polling places we have. So if you have received your mail-in ballot and you haven't mailed it in, if it's sitting in your car, sitting in your purse, sitting in on your kitchen counter, you could fill that out, take it to one of the polling places, and they would take it from you. If you are a registered voter and are not a mail-in ballot, you can go to either one of those places up until 8 o'clock tomorrow and do your voting.
All right. So one more time before we get off the air here, I'm going to allow you the opportunity to speak to our listeners, to speak to our viewers of our community, and let them know why Paula Massey should be a part of the Hanford City Council.
Well, thank you, Joey. I appreciate this opportunity. The reason why I feel like I should be the person that you vote for in this election is because I've already done the work in the community. I have my thumbprint and my footprint in the community. People know who I am. I work with your youth, all ethnicities. You know, so it's not about a black thing. It's not about a white, Mexican, or whatever. It's about a people thing. And I am here for the community. I raised my children. I moved to this community from the base in 1983. I moved to Fresno for 5 years, 7 years. I came back. I'm always coming back. I moved to Phoenix for 6 months. I came back here. I mean, I just can't get away from this community. And I think about going other places, but I see the need here in this community for a person who has passion to hear what the residents are saying. There's so much that is going on in our community, all of Kings County, that once you get a person that's passionate, that they can take the things that are happening in our communities to a different level. I as just a regular citizen, I have a voice, but as a city official or as an elected official, I'll have a greater voice to take those things that concern you to higher levels. And that's why you should vote for me, because I see the bigger picture.
There it is. Paula Massey, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. She's a candidate for the Hanford City Council District D. District
yes.
D. All right. We're happy to have you here, and thank you so very much, and good luck tomorrow with everything. And once again, there's 2 locations, right, to where to vote?
Yes, the Catholic Church that's on Hanford and Mona Road, and then there's on Harris Street, the Latino Assembly of God.
All right. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here on the Eggs, Bacon, and Joey Morning Show. Get out there and vote.
Yes, get the vote.
Get out there and vote.
Yes.
Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.